yesterday. Thank you for tuning in to Channel 22, the BevCam Sports Network. I'm Alex Saluco alongside Dom Lorenzano as we take on the championship game for the girls in the 10th annual Larry McIntire Board 130 Classic. Again, thank you for joining us. And Dom, Beverly has a handful today with a good Bishop Fenwick squad that they lost to earlier in the season.
Yes, they absolutely do have their hands full. You know, losing by 11 to them early in the season. You know, early in the season sometimes can be a little bit, you know, teams grow and they get better. You'd think that Fenwick might get a little better too, but Beverly are pretty young teams, so you think there'd be a lot of growth there, but they absolutely have their hands full. A much different opponent than what they faced yesterday in Revere.
Yeah.
But I do think that coming into this game, having that Revere game when they did was the perfect timing. After losing 3 straight games before that, all close, not getting blown out on any of them, but it's nice to have an easier opponent to at least get your feet back underneath you and figure out the things that you need to do to be successful. I think that helped them a lot, and they're going to try and take what they did in that game and bring it into this game against Fenwick.
Yeah, you said it. Offense has been a struggle for them all season long outside of Haley Anderson, and we saw her. She's now the all-time leading scorer at Beverly High School for the women, or for the girls, over 1,000 points for her. But yesterday, 70-point onslaught, and you can see it in the stat sheet. The play from Tia Bernard, 18, 17, and 8. Maybe that's also something she can carry on going into the tournament and into this game against Fenwick.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think Tia is the biggest key for this team if they need to get over the hump to get some of these better teams and get these W's. That Cindy does a very good job, especially when she gets hot shooting the basketball. But Tia, when she's willing to take the shots on offense, she provides an extra layer to this team because she know what she can do defensively. She grabs rebounds all over the place, and you can add that third scorer into the mix. It makes it so tough for teams to just key on Haley.
Yes. And we're going to get starting lineups here pretty soon. It's all for seeding right now for Beverly. They've already clinched the tournament. They're sitting in the 12th spot, and it was good for them. Belmont lost this morning as well as yesterday, so they have an upper hand on that to try to elevate their standing maybe all the way up to the 10th seed when the regular season is all said and done.
It's funny how those things can change real quick. Just coming into the game before that, we were worried they might have to play a play-in game, and now we're worrying about maybe they'll be up to a 10th seed.
Starting lineups here for Fenwick. We got number 3, Isabella Romero, a freshman. Number 4, Bryn Bertucci, a junior forward.
I will say, just looking at Fenwick, usually teams have a huge size advantage on Beverly. I don't see them having a giant size advantage. We got some girls who are a little bit bigger than Beverly, but for the most part, I'm not seeing anything over the top.
Michaela Rossi, Veronica Taché. And rounding out the starting 5 will be Liz Gonzalez, the junior guard. And Haley Anderson introduced first for the Panthers. Again, we mentioned it, all-time leading girls scorer here at Beverly.
There's Sydney Anderson off her 14-point performance against Revere. And this Kylie, who, by the way, got into foul trouble against Revere, and I think her coming back in the second half actually made a big difference as well, even though they were already doing well. Although Kylie might not be a great scorer, her speed and ability to at least penetrate on the inside kind of frees up Haley sometimes after that.
We're going to take a break for the national anthem. It's always fun having the national anthem and everybody facing you. It's like you're the flag almost.
One key thing I'm thinking about, especially at the start of this game, is the tendency that we have, then we see things live, we overreact to them. And all these teams have watched each other in the tournament now. I'm interested if Bishop might have the tendency to overreact to what they saw against Revere and lessen the pressure on Haley to start this game, thinking they need to worry about Sydney and Tia and the rest of this team.
That's true.
And it was a good game, and I like to see it. But still, if I play Beverly, my plan does not change. We're boxing one on Haley, and I'm seeing if Sydney and Tia can consistently beat me.
Yeah, this is a team that held Beverly to 24 points in their first meeting, by far their lowest output of the season. Hemsey's going to take the tip for Beverly, and Anderson's going to run it down. Bernard. Thinking about going baseline. She does. Quick step, turnover, and it's going the other way.
I like to take from Tia aggressive early, but just careless with the basketball after.
In transition, she comes back down, gets a block. Coming the other way now. McCarthy. Pass a little low for Hemsey. It's going to go back the other way.
So right away, Beverly a little careless with the basketball in their first two possessions.
Past half court now. A three. Front iron run down by Bernard. Stumbles a bit and it's going to stay with Fenwick.
Yeah.
7:16 left in the first.
Oh my goodness. Both teams struggling a little bit taking care of the basketball.
Taché gets past half court. Thinking about another shot, looking down low. She'll just give it up. Spin move from Rossi. She can't get that one to go. She gets her own board. The putback, no good. We're still scoreless, 1:10 into this first quarter.
Well, they were low scoring the first time these two teams played, and the same so far.
Bernard to Hemsey. Brings it back out. McCarthy now driving left. Spins back.
That's what I'm talking about, the penetration by McCarthy. And Sydney just a little bit too quick there. It's been one of her bugaboos all season sometimes. She just gets a little bit too fast.
And Beverly been pressuring early in this first quarter. Taché guarded by Anderson. Trying to get it down low. Hemsey got good position there. Still scoreless, almost 2 minutes in. McCarthy with the Euro step, can't get it to fall. Rebound, Romero. Romero for three. She's open.
Well short.
Still scoreless here. The final score of their first game, like you said, very low, 35-24.
Yeah, right now, both offenses just having trouble getting flowing. And it's not even like they've taken terrible shots. They've had some open looks.
A lot of turnovers early. McCarthy dishes it over to Bernard. She'll take a three. Just off the mark there. Hemsey getting in for an offensive board around two Fenwick defenders. Anderson for three off the mark, and still scoreless here, 2.5 in.
Geez, Haley, they were able to give her a real good look and still won't go in. There's a lid up there on that basket right now for both teams.
Romero uses the pick. It's back up top. Down low, the move on Hemsey. She has good position with her hands up and seemed to get a deflection. Comes away with the rebound. McCarthy going the other way now.
Uh-oh.
And again, she's in the lane, can't get it to go. She's had a lot of good looks and using her footwork.
Yeah, she really has. That's why I talk about the quickness of McCarthy, especially in the second half against Revere when she was able to play more, really helped them.
Rossi driving.
Yeah, Haley's going to get called for a hacking foul there. You could see it.
And we got a celebrity in the house now, Coach Tom Donovan. I don't know if you know him. If you don't, you probably should. Still scoreless here, 4:48 into the first quarter. Rossi's going to be at the line.
He lives and breathes this stuff. He was here at 2 o'clock watching the other teams yesterday, and now he's here early to watch the girls.
Still scoreless here. Yeah, Coach Donovan loves his film. His film study, just loves basketball. Likes M&Ms too. Rossi, the second free throw, it's good.
You know what? Back-to-back games, though. He's been so into the games, he's forgetting about his M&Ms.
Oh, if I was here, those would be gone. Finally on the board.
I know, it took a while.
One of these teams is 1-0, 4:38 into the first quarter. Anderson looking for somewhere to go with it. You can see Tashay's the one tasked with guarding Haley.
Yeah, and she's right in her shirt.
Now, knowing that last name and knowing it, she could have been called for a travel right there. And it's going to stay with Beverly. 2 seconds left on the shot clock. I believe Tashay, and I'll check this, I'm assuming is related to the great Julie Tashay of Salem High School. Hemsey gets in, can't get it to go. It's going the other way.
Another, not even a terrible look again for Beverly. It's just not going in.
Romero could have been called for a travel there.
I mean, with like 2 seconds left on a shot clock, that's about as good a look as you could hope for.
Tashay again. The three. Can't get it to go. And I'm willing to bet that there is a relation to Jerry and Julie Tashay of Salem, own Tashay Real Estates, you know, just saying. But Julie was a great three-sport athlete in high school in her day, and she will never let you forget about it. Beverly still looking to get on the board. 3:50 left in the first quarter.
But I'd say if Fenwick can keep Tia out there handling the basketball, they'll take that.
Sydney can't handle that one. Goes out of bounds.
Another turnover for Beverly.
Beverly still very much in this game, even though they haven't scored. 0 made field goals. That's over 4 minutes into this first quarter for either team.
Yeah, we got a baseball game right now, score-wise. Something about the way these two teams play, I guess, when they play each other.
Orfanos in the lane, can't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Back to Orfanos in the corner. She has a quick first step.
Oh, Kylie overplayed that.
I believe she's going to be called for her first.
Yeah, she is, and that was actually one thing about the Revere game that Beverly did have trouble with. They got themselves in some real bad foul trouble. Sydney had to sit at the end of the game. Kylie had to sit most of the first half. That's probably something they cannot afford to do against Fenwick.
So Liz Gonzalez at the line, making her first free throw. And the second one bounces around and in.
She looks like she has a weird way of shooting free throws.
I can tell you she does it better than I do.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
McCarthy gets a pass half court.
Definitely better than me.
Orfanos playing good D. 3 off the mark. Anderson going for the offensive board, ends up in the hands of Gonzalez. It's going the other way.
I think frustration's starting to set in a little bit now for the Beverly offense.
3 off the mark as well. Another rebound for Sydney.
She got Haley wide open. You got to see it.
McCarthy driving again. Can't get that one to fall, but the offensive board for Bernard. Hemsey, the fake, puts it back up. Beverly still scoreless. 2.5 left in the first.
Again, not terrible looks, but to start that off, they had Haley wide open. They just did not see it in transition.
Gonzalez to Bertucci. Down low. Good move on Bernard.
We got our first field goal.
We did. That was Morgan Kachi, and I believe that's the sister
of Viana.
Exactly. On this Beverly team. Just won a scholarship before this, or awarded a scholarship from Larry McIntire. We'll get to that in a little bit. Talk about what this tournament does. And Beverly's on the board with a 3 from who else? Haley Anderson.
Let's see if that breaks the ice a little bit now for the Panthers. They can get going. It's a great job by Haley just creating her own shot.
First in the North Shore in threes on the season. Beverly trying to track that down, and we're going to get a travel on Sydney there. As Romero re-enters the game for Fenwick. Beverly only down 2 after that three-pointer from Anderson. 1:35 left to go in the first. Romero. Sydney did all she could do, but easy two there for Romero. Has that size advantage. McCarthy to Bernard. Back to McCarthy.
Nice take by Tia.
Saw that open lane. She's going to draw that foul. It was a good job by her. Notice she had the ball a couple times in that possession, but saw an opening and took it.
That's good, and that's exactly what Tia needs to do. She just needs to be more aggressive in her offensive game. For a second there, I thought they weren't going to call that foul, by the way. I was like, come on, no way.
Bernard knocks down her first. And like we said, huge game for her yesterday. 18, 17, and 8 assists for the senior. She's top 10 in the North Shore in rebounds with over 8 per game. She knocks them both down to cut the lead down to 2. Gonzalez. Good move there, no opening. Orfanos back to Gonzalez, guarded by Bernard. Going baseline, almost turned away by Fenwick. Taché for 3, got it to go.
And Taché's taken that shot a couple of times and hasn't gotten it yet, but able to drain it that time.
5 different players for Fenwick have all scored. Beverly just with 2. Is McCarthy almost loses that, but it's going to be a jump ball. It's going to go over to Fenwick. 10-5 with just under 39 left in the first quarter. See if Fenwick tries to go for a 2-for-1. Taché is going to be fouled on that, fouled by Sydney. It's going to be the 3rd team foul on the Panthers. Gonzalez, the inbounder.
Oh no, and another one.
That's going to be on McCarthy. That's 2 on her.
Yeah. Like I said, the same issues that they had in the Revere game, these fouls. And here late in the first quarter, now they're starting to pile up a little bit again.
Sophomore Maria Orfanos at the line.
And the problem with Kylie having 2, if Kylie has to come out, that usually means Haley takes over the point guard position.
Coach Stanchel going to leave her in, as Taché will take a break for Fenwick. And Mia Mercurio, freshman, seeing her first action. Orfanos knocks the second. .22 seconds, shot clock turned off. McCarthy to Bernard, trying to get it down low to Sydney. She'll come away with it, mid-range jumper, got it to go.
Nice bucket there for Beverly. Kind of needed that a little bit with how much of a struggle it's been for them on offense.
Clock down to 2 seconds. Gonzalez driving, throws it up, no good. The end of 1, Fenwick 11, Beverly 7. And it was spread around completely for Fenwick. 6 different scorers. You had Gonzalez, Taché, Kachian, Rossi, Romero, and Orfanos. That 3 from Anderson is what broke it open for Beverly. Tia hit a couple free throws, and that was a good, nice mid-range jumper from Haley after losing it initially.
Yeah, that was really nice. And you mentioned it, Haley just breaking the ice there with that 3, just creating her own shot and putting it up and doing that. But Beverly, again, on offense, the big problem is turnovers. They've had too many of them. And they're doing a nice job, it seems like, for the most part on Fenwick defensively. Both teams doing a good job on each other defensively, but turnovers probably the biggest thing that Beverly needs to clean up. And then the fact that a little bit of fouls starting to pile up at the end. Kylie McCarthy once again having 2 fouls, so that's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, you said it, I believe their first 4 possessions were ended in a turnover for Beverly.
Yep.
In the McCarthy foul situation, definitely something to keep an eye on. Beverly going to send out their starting 5, and Bernard, McCarthy, Hemsey, and the Andersons.
Yeah. And like I said, not only just, I like Kylie's speed, her ability to at least penetrate and then get the ball out to shooters, but I like when Haley doesn't have to play point guard. She can play off the ball. It's just way easier for her to find the space to get some shots.
All right, starting the second quarter, Beverly down 4 after the mid-range J from Sydney Anderson on their last possession of the first quarter. Beverly has to feel pretty good only being down 4.
Yeah, considering
with how poorly they played in the first half of that first quarter. Good movement, Bernard, mid-range jumper, and I believe an over the back is going to be called on McCarthy.
Yeah, that's a problem now. That's going to be Kylie's 3rd. She's going to have to check out of the game. And it's funny how this has happened. I don't remember this being a huge issue for Kylie during the season, but back-to-back games now in this tournament that the fouls are piling up on her.
Sophomore Angela Mazzoni enters in her place. Nice defense there by Hemsey to swat that away from Romero. It's going to stay with Fenwick, but Hemsey's held her own.
Oh yeah, Sophia's done a great job all season defensively, despite the fact that usually the girl she's on, she's given up at least 3-4 inches.
Nothing changing with her on Romero today. Romero slips past, can't get it to go. Rebound Bernard.
Who else for the rebound?
Orfanos on Haley. Stops her. She's got quick feet. It's going to be hard for Haley to cut any corners against these Fenwick guards and Taché or Orfanos. I'm waiting for the call there. It's going to be a push on, I believe, either Romero or Orfanos. It's going to be Beverly's ball under the basket. Sydney Anderson in the corner. Cross court to Bernard. Uses a pick from Haley. 15 on the
nice
shot
move
clock.
by Sydney.
She could have brought that one a little bit closer, decided to take it for mid-range.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point you made right there. It would have been nice to see her get a little bit closer on that.
Still scoreless in this second quarter, 1:20 in. Shirts on the floor. Romero's got it, and we're going to get a timeout from Fenwick before Beverly can grab it for the jump ball. So the first time out here. Going to take a second to mention, if I can get this up, it's the 10th annual Larry McIntire Board 130 Classic. All of these guys here are volunteers, the refs, everybody. They will be back next year as well for an 11th year, and they've donated over $32,000 in scholarships and donations to Officials vs. Cancer, so they're doing a great job. And just want to give them a shout out for putting this around. We saw a couple scholarships given out before this game. For one of the Beverly girls received the scholarship as well, and that was Vianna Kotchian, senior on this team. So good job for her, and great job for everybody involved in this Larry McIntire Tournament. And it's great every single year. Love doing it on Sundays and Mondays when I'm off from work. Always great. Always great.
Always great. Yeah, it really is. That's a great job. I remember the scholarship thing, but I didn't know the other thing that you mentioned like that.
Yeah, Officials vs. Cancer. They've substantial donations from these guys doing great work. Still scoreless here, 1.5 minutes into the second quarter, playing out a lot like the beginning of the first quarter here. And like you said, both teams have had good looks.
Yeah, they have. Not to discredit the defenses, but, you know, a lot of this really just has been the ball's just not going in.
Anderson comes away with that. I believe Hemsey got the block in the corner.
She did. By the way, you mentioned the quickness of Taché, and that allows her to play off Haley actually a lot more than a lot of girls have had to play her this year. And, you know, especially second half of the season, Haley's been able to use that aggressive defense against them and be able to drive to the hoop. But
Bernard for an easy two.
Taché doesn't have to play in her shirt quite as much. Great job there getting the ball to Tia on the inbounds and the bucket.
First point of the second quarter for either team. Cuts the lead down to 2. In and out on the 3. Rebound Mazzoni.
It's a nice summary of this game right there, isn't it?
Anderson looking to take it coast to coast. Drops it off to Hemsey. Mid-range jumper. Can't get it to go.
That might have been a little too unselfish by Sydney. I thought you could go up and get it, or maybe even draw a foul.
Romero being guarded by Hemsey. Floater with the left hand. Nice job there by Orfanos. And she's got a quick first step.
Yeah, they got some players over here for Fenwick, and one of the issues is there's not really one person you can really key on, especially on the offensive. You talk about it, what is it, 6 or 7 people they're up to now have scored?
Yeah. 6 players on the Fenwick team with points. A couple substitutions for Fenwick after the foul. 14 fouls for Bishop Fenwick, 5 for the Panthers. Beverly down 4, they turned it over.
Another turnover for the Panther offense. Haley getting back on defense, though, so she'll have to slow it down.
Rossi, she's going to be called for a travel there.
As Coach Donovan says, you want to be quick, but don't hurry.
Haley Anderson in the lane, thinking about taking a shot. She loses it. They'd get the possession on a jump ball, I believe. Hemsey out to Mazzoni, long 2. Off the mark, rebound, Orfanos. Burke to Rossi. Looking for Taché, who's curling. Nice defense by Hemsey again. It's been all over the place.
Yeah, Fenwick is having problems getting the ball, at least passing the ball into the interior of the Beverly defense. It's been kind of the main cause of some of Fenwick's turnovers. Sydney almost traveled.
Bernard down to Hemsey, kicks it out. Haley
Nice.
open 3, got it.
There's that in and out ball movement, something they did so well against Revere, especially in that second half, that allowed Haley to drop 14 points in the second half alone.
She's got 6 points on 2 threes so far. Bernard, the other leading scorer for the Panthers with 4, and Sydney adding 2. And as we said before, 6 Crusaders on the board. On the other side, Beverly cuts it down to 1, and that in and out is really what worked there. Maximizing Haley's opportunities from beyond the arc is going to be crucial moving forward, just like it is every single game.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you know, it's not complicated basketball. The in and out movement, it means that you got to collapse in, and that means that someone is going to have to leave Haley. And like I said, it was something that they just used so well against Revere. It's been tough sledding so far, getting the ball into the interior, but a great job there, and that's something they're going to have to keep doing in order to get Haley these shots.
She had 24 points and 6 boards yesterday in that rout of Revere. Six points so far in this first half. Beverly not going deep into the bench. Only 1 substitution this entire game, I believe, and that's Mazzoni for McCarthy. And she has 3 fouls.
Yeah, one reason they've been able to do that is this game is not being played at a super high pace.
Absolutely.
And that is very helpful for Beverly, because Beverly really doesn't want to go deep on their bench anyway.
Out of that timeout, Beverly coming away with a turnover. Seemed to have a little bit more intensity on that defensive possession.
Yeah.
All 5 girls with their hands up, and we're going to get a push or a trip. It's going to be on Hemsey. And Gonzalez will check back in.
6-team foul now for the Panthers. Missed opportunity there for Beverly, by the way, on that possession.
With running a zone, leaving Taché wide open for three. Can't get it to go. Weren't quick enough to rotate back to the right after shifting left on that zone. Sydney kicking out. Mazzoni, Bernard.
Tia, take it.
Free. Can't get it to go. It was a nice step back attempt, but
yeah, I like Tia at least taking that shot.
Almost a travel there. Good box out, but it's going to be a three for Taché, her second. She's got 6 on 2 threes. Extends that lead back to 4. Hemsey with the pick. Haley, nice move. Gets it to go.
Oh, what
She's
a
got
move.
8.
What a move by Haley. I like the aggressive play.
Actions picked up so far in this second quarter. Taché thinking about another 3.
Especially after that timeout.
Rossi, a 3 off the mark. Rebound, Bernard. Beverly within 2, 2:40 left to play in this second quarter. Haley going to use a pick from Hemsey. Bernard up top, guarded by Gonzalez. She's going to go left. Sydney in the lane, baseline, can't get it to go to tie the game. It's a good look, though.
It was.
Sydney had 14 yesterday against Revere. Gonzalez going to take what the defense gives her. Use her size, in for 2. For Gonzalez, she has 4. She saw a wide open lane in front of her, and Bernard waiting at the hoop. She just took it to her. Haley. Could have been called for a push-off there.
Yeah, I thought I saw that too. Glad I'm not the only one.
Sydney for 3. Can't get it to go, and Fenwick not giving up a lot of offensive boards.
No.
A lot of positioning from Beverly from beyond the arc, and Hemsey with a nice push there. She's going to get her money's worth in. Love the intensity there.
Yeah, but again,
Bertucci did not love that, however.
No.
And that was blatant. And she's gonna,
Sophia, you're not going to get away with that.
Yeah, she's going to come out, but I enjoyed that.
I could tell by the way you called that. So Fenwick in the bonus now. Sophia picking up another foul. I think that puts her at least 2.
In her place is going to be freshman Nyla Olivier.
So the same 2 that kind of got themselves in foul trouble last game, in foul trouble again.
Good foul there by Hemsey as no points come out of it.
Mazzoni thought about it.
Bernard open for 3. Can't knock it down. Good look.
It was a great look.
Beverly's getting the looks they want. They're just having a hard time converting, but sooner or later, those are going to fall. Freshman called for a travel there. That's number 31, Erica Lendell. And back into the game is Orfanos for Fenwick. Beverly only down 4, 1:17 left to go in the second.
I'll say one little thing while Kylie's out of the game that I'm watching is every time Haley brings up the ball, how hard are they going to make her work? Because you saw that English did that to Duncan Moreland when they played last week. Just wore Duncan out. You worry about that happening to Haley.
Sydney, the size matchup, she's going to take it in. She'll get fouled.
Nice.
She'll shoot 2.
Beverly has not really got themselves to the line much today.
Only the
second time, I think.
3rd and 4th free throw attempts for the Panthers, yep.
Not quite the way you draw it up, but it counts the same.
Some banks are open on holidays. President's Day, is it really a holiday too? It's open, come on.
I don't know what they're doing.
Misses the second after knocking down the first. Bernard coming away with an offensive rebound.
Wow.
Few and far between for the Panthers this first half. Sydney has it poked away. She's going to keep attacking. Mazzoni, Bernard thought about a 3 for a little bit. Down low. Kicking it back out to Mazzoni. And we're going to get a jump ball. We'll see where it goes. It's going to go to Fenwick. .40 seconds to play in the first half. Beverly down 3. Gonzalez has it poked away.
No foul?
And we're going to get a timeout from Beverly. They'll retain possession, down only 3. And like you said, they haven't been to the line a lot. Only 4 free throw attempts. They're 3 for 4, but when they're attacking, they're not finishing and they're not getting fouled.
Yeah, Kylie's going to check back into the game now with 30 seconds left in this possession. And Beverly, you know, I feel like a lot of times this year they've done no matter how bad a first half has been on offense, they've done a great job of stealing points before the half. See if they can do it again. And even though with a timeout, you know, you expect the defense to be like, all right, where's Haley? Guard Haley at all times. They've still found ways to get Haley's shots, it seems like, on this scenario so many times this season.
And one thing you want to watch out for here, inserting McCarthy back into the lineup. If they take a quick shot and have to play defense, she has to know she has 3 fouls. Do not force the issue.
Yes.
For Stangel, you're hoping to get a score here in towards the end of the quarter so you don't have to take out McCarthy and just leave her in there. And you can see she's going to be bringing the ball up as usual.
Yeah. And that is a great point that you bring up right there. Just got to tell Kylie to be so careful.
But a 1.5 second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Bernard, Anderson.
Anderson, that's a mismatch.
Floater, can't get it to go. Mazzoni off of her fingertips. McCarthy can't keep it in. It's going to go the other way. 3 seconds left, and you see it here. McCarthy's going to check out just to prevent from maybe getting that 4th foul.
Well, I'll tell you, they were ended up getting kind of the matchup they wanted. That looked like the freshman that was on Haley. And you take that all day if you're the Panthers and Stanchel, but just couldn't convert on the bucket.
Tachet's going to pick it up. She's got 2 seconds. Gonzalez going to have to put it up. She won't get it off.
Didn't get up in time
before the buzzer. So at the end of the first half, Fenwick with an 18-15 lead against the Panthers. Anderson leading the way for the Panthers. Haley, that is, with 8 points. Bernard adding 4. Sydney adding 2 herself. And it's been a barrage from all different angles for Fenwick as Tachet's leading them in scoring with 6. You have Orfanos with 3. Gonzalez with 4, and a couple other players with 2 and 1. So at the end of or at the end of the first half, Beverly only down 3. A lot of things they can change. Haley hasn't gotten many looks, but she still got 8 points.
Yeah, Haley hasn't gotten a lot of looks, but I think whenever you, especially you face a better team, you expect that, especially at this point. Teams know what Haley can do. They know what they need to force Beverly to do. The biggest thing that I'm seeing for Beverly is they just got to eliminate the turnovers on offense. That's been the biggest thing. They've gotten themselves a few good looks. They've been a little unlucky. Seems to be a lid up on that bucket sometimes. You expect some of those to start falling. And then the other thing is foul trouble, especially for Kylie. I believe Sophia's in some as well. If she doesn't have 3, she at least has 2.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's the thing I'm going to look at. Convert some of these buckets, eliminate the turnovers.
A lot to look forward to in the second half, and you can tell these two teams definitely know each other. They've played against each other so far this season. So we'll see you at the beginning of the second half. For Dom, I'm Alex, and we'll see you soon. Oh, hey, Mark, say hi to the camera.
Is he in the camera?
It's all good.
We got the cameraman in the camera.
You are watching BevCam. Here, anyone can come to the studio to make their own local TV show. Contact us with your idea. We'll help you get started with producing your own show, editing it, and then we'll broadcast it to all of Beverly for your friends and family to see. You might even get some new fans. We also film local events like sports, music, city council meetings, and more. If you miss out on anything in town, you can catch up on it here. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Contact us at 978-927-5544 or email us at admin@bevcam.org.
Got a quarter?
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Listen.
All it took was someone who would insist that I just try.
Suddenly, everything was turned around because they judge you.
You tell them, I don't need this.
No one is going to understand.
Unless they've been through it, how can they?
Then one day you realize
You feel so hopeless.
I need help. I need help.
You feel so hopeless.
Then one day you realize,
unless they've been through it, how can they understand?
I don't need this.
No one's going to judge you.
Suddenly everything was turned around because they insist that I just try.
All it took was someone who would just...
Listen.
shot there of our officials for this championship game in the 10th annual Larry McIntire Board 130 Classic between the Panthers and the Crusaders of Bishop Fenwick. Bishop Fenwick with a 3-point lead, 18-15 after the first half. 8 points from Haley Anderson to lead all scores, I believe.
Yeah.
Lead all scores on both sides. Bernard added 4, and Sydney Anderson with 2. Beverly, like we said, more looks for Haley would be great, but scoring outside of Haley is something they need. They want to win this game. Kylie McCarthy with foul trouble in that first half. 0 points on the board so far. I'd like to see her get involved. She was aggressive early on with some takes to the basket, but I think if she can stay on the court, her offense is going to be needed, especially for penetrating to draw attention to her and kick it out to open three-point shooters.
I think that's the number one thing that Kylie does better than anybody else on this team, her quickness to be able to get into the paint and make teams collapse in on them. I actually kind of like the position that Beverly is in right now, though. I just think that, you know, the way these things go, they've had some good shots, they just haven't gone in. I think eventually those have to start falling. And I honestly do think that they've gotten better looks than Fenwick has actually got so far. So I do think Beverly's in a decent position right now, only down 3 in this second half to close this thing out, and hopefully Beverly, you know, get Beverly started on a good foot today, because, you know, they have a chance to sweep the Larry McIntire Tournament.
They do.
But
right now they sit at 11-8. A win would definitely help them in their playoff seeding, possibly get up to the 11th seed by passing Arlington with a win today. But they can go as low as the 13th, between 13 and 15 seeds, depending on what happens, all this sports math. And I'm not a math guy, so I'm going to let the math people deal with it.
I think they still could, but, you know, that win yesterday really, really helped, because they were in danger of having to do that play-in game. But we're underway, and Kylie is on the floor to start the half.
Right away, open look for Haley Anderson. Can't get it to go. Gonzalez with the board coming the other way now in transition.
Oh, nice
Bernard.
move by Tia. Great job by Tia to get in the way of that. I thought it was going to be some easy points for the Crusaders.
That's what she does well for this team, grabbing boards.
Playing defense,
And Taché wide open, lost on that set play for an easy 2.
No.
Veronica Taché.
Can't lose track of Taché. She looks like she's the best shooter for the Crusaders.
McCarthy almost losing that one. Lead back to 5 after the Taché jumper. Bernard driving baseline. She'll go up. Can't get it to go.
That lid staying up there.
Beverly 0 for 2 from the field to start this third quarter. Fenwick with a chance to go on a little bit of a run to pad their 5-point lead. Gonzalez drives on McCarthy. You can tell she's playing a little timid there on defense. Not just have her hands up, using her feet, not trying to get that 4th foul.
Yeah, and if the Crusaders are smart, they're going to continue to go after her.
Bernard.
Tia for 3 on the near side corner.
She's got 7.
She was huge in the second half against Revere. She gets the scoring started now for the Panthers with that 3.
And she has been aggressive. I believe that's her 4th attempt from beyond the arc. Gonzalez working on Hemsey, gets it to go.
Wow, that was a tough ask there for Gonzalez, but she made it work.
She's got 6. Lead back to 4. Kylie driving a little bit of a floater, no good. And all 4 white shirts, that shot attempt, were beyond the 3-point arc. Nobody to even be in position to grab a board there. Romero down to Gonzalez. She's been working early in this third quarter. Another look, no good.
Yeah, Fenwick's doing a lot better job right now of working the interior of the Beverly defense.
It's going to be on Bertucci. Thought possibly there could have been a foul on Bernard, but possession will go to the Panthers. Anderson, deep 3. Got it.
Haley from way outside, but it doesn't matter the distance. She's always dangerous.
She's got 11, 3 threes for her. Good luck to any girl who wants to surpass her record.
Yeah.
All-time leading girls scorers in Beverly High School. Beverly with some momentum as Hemsey grabs that board. Beverly only down one. McCarthy driving.
Yeah, Panthers got a chance to take their very first lead of the game.
Romero on Bernard. She's going to take another three.
No.
Can't get it to go. Hemsey's there for the offensive board, trying to put it up. And Hemsey's been everywhere. Looks like Bertucci's grabbing her face there.
Yeah.
And Hemsey might be called for the elbow.
Yeah, she is. And that may force Stanchel's hand again. Oh, never mind.
Wonder if the initial foul was called on Bertucci or on Hemsey.
Okay, it's got to be on Hemsey. There we go.
Romero will exit. Orfanos will come in for Fenwick.
Stanchel's not doing anything yet.
Beverly with some pressure, trying to force it away from Orfanos, and it went off of Sydney there, off her left hand. Beverly, good job of pressuring. Orfanos coming away with it.
Now this is a different look for the Panthers with this pressure. They haven't showed this.
Taché gets it past half court now. Rossi.
Boy, Rossi had that shot if he wanted it.
Gonzalez up top to Taché.
Oh, nice switch on defense.
Rossi, open lane, poked away there by Bernard, and it'll go to Beverly. Beverly with 6 points in this third quarter, both off threes, one from Anderson, one from Bernard. McCarthy.
Yeah, both teams really up in the pressure, by the way, on defense.
Floater from McCarthy, gets it to fall. Her first points in the first Beverly lead. 23-22. Gonzalez driving on Sydney. A little bit of a late call.
Wow. Oh, I don't know about that.
Gonzalez will shoot two.
I believe that's Sydney's second. So now with 4:21, Crusaders in position to retake the lead.
Gonzalez knocks down the first. She's got 7. And 2 for 2. Her and Taché tied the Fenwick lead with 8 points apiece. It's 24-23 Fenwick with 4:15 left to go in the third quarter. McCarthy got on the board in their last possession finally, and we're going to get, I believe, a foul on Taché.
Nice.
Going to be the first team foul on Fenwick. Bernard to inbound, and we're going to get another foul on Hemsey away from the ball.
Sophia tried to get in Taché's way to get Haley open right there. She messed up on the pick.
And Olivier is going to come in for Hemsey, who is in foul trouble. I believe that's either 3 or 4.
That could be 4. I think it's 4. So Sophia's going to have to sit for a while.
I love the aggressive play, though.
No, I do.
Not going to lie.
Yeah, you gotta be creative to get Haley shots. But it is unfortunate.
Gonzalez guarded by the freshman Olivier. Finds an open Crusader, can't get it to go, and it's saved. That was Bertucci. Bertucci yet to score a bucket so far, and Beverly forcing a turnover.
Crusaders definitely really out of sync right now in this third quarter on offense.
It was a good job by Bernard, forcing a high pass from Gonzalez to Taché. McCarthy doing their best to get by Orfanos, who's very quick on the defensive side. Anderson for 3, off the mark.
But this is what I'm talking about. The advantage of having Kylie in the game and allowing Haley to play off the ball. And it's already paid dividends so far.
Not the most comfortable place to inbound a ball from. 3 for Anderson. Got it. She's got 14.
Boy, what you said was prophetic, wasn't it?
That is the worst place as an inbounder. You can't move anywhere.
No.
You feel constricted. Your lanes are limited. And it was a great job by Sydney to force that steal, get it to her sister for a 3. And a quick travel from Orfanos in the Crusaders gives the ball right back to Beverly. They lead by 2.
It could be
a big momentum shift in this gym.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Bernard could have been called for a push-off there. Wasn't. Anderson in the corner.
Nearly lost it.
Driving
nice take
with
by
the
Haley.
left hand. Can't get it to fall. Olivier going to be called for a foul, I believe.
Yeah, clearly.
In the over the back.
A little too aggressive by Olivier. Yeah. Olivier with the foul, so Beverly still just with the 2-point lead.
And Stanchel sticking with this pressure. We're going to get a timeout from Fenwick. Probably a good call there, as this Beverly pressure has paid off so far in this third quarter.
Giving them all sorts of some freebies, some free looks, and just preventing the Crusaders to really get in any type of rhythm of their own on offense.
Anderson with 14 now so far to lead all scorers. Bernard adding 7, McCarthy with 2, and Sydney hasn't scored since that mid-range jumper in the first quarter, and she had 14 last night, so you'd like to think she's going to get involved here soon.
Yeah, absolutely, but it is nice to see, especially early on here in this third quarter, they're doing a real good job of getting Haley some looks now. She's knocked down the 2 threes. She's had even some other looks, though, besides the 2 that she's knocked down. So they are doing a real good job of that.
Out on the court for the Panthers, Bernard, McCarthy, Olivier, Sydney, and Haley Anderson.
One thing to watch, though, now, and like I said, the pace of this game at least has been pretty slow, and that helps Beverly. But Fenwick is a lot deeper. They've gone a lot deeper on their bench than the Panthers. So, you know, fatigue could be something that sets in this fourth quarter. They have not gone deep on that bench at all. Trying to clear something up at the scorer's table right there.
It's always fun. Yeah,
I know. I don't know if it's number of fouls for somebody or is there a discrepancy in the score that they think?
All right, resuming play, just under 3 left to go in the third quarter. Taché looking for somewhere to go with it, guarded by McCarthy. She's got to be careful. She's got 3.
Yeah.
Orfanos. Bertucci. Gonzalez now, she'll drive, draw Bernard's attention towards baseline. And Bernard's gonna steal it away. It's into the hands of Sydney Anderson. Poked away by Orfanos, and she'll be tripped up. No foul called.
Wow.
Finally get a whistle, and it's gonna go to Beverly.
Wow.
Orfanos shaking her wrist there after that, and surprised no foul called anyway.
I was just about to say a bit of a break there for the Panthers. I thought for sure Sydney was gonna get called on that. Are they having a problem with the clock again? I think they are. All right.
Bernard needs somewhere to go with it, gets to McCarthy. Sydney.
Oh, no, Sydney loses it. Tia's getting back on defense, though.
Kachian got it to go in the and one. Kachian's second basket of the game.
I believe the foul will be on Tia. So Kachian ties this game up for the Crusaders and a chance to put them back ahead.
Mazzoni will re-enter. And if he's taking out McCarthy.
Oh, it must have been on McCarthy.
Must have been the 4th on McCarthy. We didn't get word of that, though.
Yeah, they're screaming right now that it's wrong, that they got it on the wrong player. And they better clear this up because this is a huge issue.
Yeah, Stanchel ready to put her back in.
Yeah.
If that foul was not on her.
I didn't think Kylie was really all that near the play. I thought for sure it had to be on Tia.
So it's going to be on McCarthy. You could have took the headset off, you could hear the ref saying from the back end she had 22. That would have been Bernard, but McCarthy, unfortunate, going to get her 4th foul there.
I think that's not right. I really do think that was on Tia. I think they just missed it. I saw the play the whole way. Tia was the one who was running in there. Tia was the one who was right up in her face.
So now it will be Haley to bring the ball up, and like you said, you like it when she's free to get her own shot.
Yeah, and you see how hard they made her work there too. With the way that Crusaders have upped their pressure on defense, Haley's going to have to continue to work really hard if she's going to bring the ball up, and that's an issue. Taché for 3, no.
Shirts on the floor. Olivier comes away with it. And are we going to get a foul here from the ref with the back view? And he's going to call a travel.
Wow.
.155 left in the third. Fenwick with a 1-point lead. McCarthy on the bench. Olivier, the foul from the back there on Bertucci, and maybe not a bad foul as Bertucci's 0 for 1 from the line tonight.
Yeah, maybe not. It's a nice pace to this third quarter for a while, but things have grinded to a screeching halt here in the last minute and a half of play.
6th-team foul on Beverly.
Now, once again, the foul's really starting to pile up again for the Panthers.
Tucci knocks that one down. Yeah, McCarthy will most likely be on the bench until definitely the rest of this quarter, and depending on when Stanchel sees it fit, somewhere in the 4th.
Sydney doing a nice job of bringing that ball up.
Bernard had an open lane for a shot. Takes it right. Mazzoni. Sydney open at the top. He's going to drive left.
Shot clock starting to wind down.
7 on the shot clock. Anderson loses it, and we're going to get a foul, I believe, on Haley. A push from behind. It's going to be 1-1 now for Bertucci.
Boy, and things have really, without it showing on the score, I think things have really spiraled out of control a little bit for the Panthers. With the fact that now we're already in the third quarter, and the Fenwick is already in the bonus. We have Kylie sitting on the bench with her 4th foul, and we have the fouls just in general really piling up on the Panthers. So the score doesn't show it, but things have really gone pretty awry now for Beverly in the last minute and a half of this game.
Bertucci misses that, 2 for 4 from the line tonight. Haley gets it to Sydney, a 3, got it to go!
Oh, that's a big 3 by Sydney, they needed that.
Her first 3 of the game ties it, gives Beverly the lead 29-28. She has 5, and a turnover, Mazzoni ends up with it. Quickly gets it to Haley.
And with Kylie and Sophia on the bench.
Shot clock did not reset on that shot, and now it just did, so Beverly got an extra 4 seconds. But Haley will be fouled, she'll shoot 2.
And get Haley to the line, needed that.
Gonna go on 22, Taché.
But that was a huge 3 by Sydney, and with Sophia and Kylie on the bench right now, they're really gonna need Sydney to step up, because it's gonna make it even harder to get Haley open looks. What are they calling?
And they're going to call it on the floor. Come on. This is going to be on the floor. 2nd-team foul.
That's horrible.
Against Bishop Fenwick.
That's wow.
Haley for 3. Bury him. Off the mark. Orfanos back to Gonzalez. 36 seconds on the clock for the third quarter. Bertucci calling for motion. That's Kachian for 3. Got the bounce, a la Paul Pierce.
Oh, that's a huge swing, isn't it?
Kachian's got 8, 31-29.
With how low scoring this game is, any 3, any bucket almost is a huge swing.
Anderson pulls up.
Oh, just too strong.
8 seconds. Down to 5. Orfanos looking for somewhere to go with it. Kachian for 3. Yes!
Kachi in a huge three, and I'll tell you, what a terrible, terrible swing for the Panthers at the end of that third quarter.
Two threes from Kachi in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, some fouls that really
in her sister's house, no less.
I know, right?
She's got 11 points now. And Beverly really did unravel with fouls in that third quarter towards the end, and some questionable calls, I will say.
Yeah.
To say the least,
that
having to force McCarthy to the bench with her fourth foul.
And then Haley not getting to the line when it looked like the foul was in the act of shooting.
Absolutely.
That is just an awful, awful swing of events in that third quarter for the Panthers, and Stanchell's going to have a job right now of getting his team refocused, because I could tell you, I could see the frustration setting in on the bench a little bit in that last minute and a half when things weren't going their way. So with this fourth quarter, they're still well within striking distance, only down 5, but so that's really going to have to get them refocused, because emotionally sometimes it just can be tough to come back from stuff like that.
Fouls definitely going to be a factor in this fourth quarter. Beverly already with 17 fouls.
And you got a little bit of a younger lineup out there right now, because with the foul trouble, you got freshman Oliveri out there, you got the sophomore Mazzoni out there as well.
And with Hemsey and McCarthy both on the bench, I think it's safe to say that Hemsey also has 4. We'll see when Coach Stanchill elects to throw them in.
Well, with Fenwick with the ball right now and already up 5, it may force Stanchill's hand to get some of them back in earlier than you'd even think to.
Good deflection there by Bernard on the entrance pass. Bertucci, 13 on the shot clock.
The Panthers,
looking to Orfanos.
The Panthers really need a stop on this possession. Oh,
Kachian
no.
again, she is hot.
Kachian in her sister's house is burying the Panthers here.
She's got 9 points in the last 40 seconds or so.
All right, Panthers. Things getting a little bit desperate right now.
And we're going to get a foul on Orfanos.
This lead has really ballooned out. This might be the largest lead the Crusaders have had all day.
8 points. It was 1 point with under a minute to go in the third quarter, and then Kachian showed up. 9 of her 14 in the blink of an eye, and
clearly traveled. There's no doubt about that.
Some would like to call it a gather step. Beverly pressuring.
Yeah, you don't even get away with that one in the NBA. That was that was about as obvious as they come.
Bertucci could have been called for a travel there, and she will.
Nice.
Minute has gone by in the fourth quarter. Anderson working on Orfanos. No foul call there. Mazzoni, last touch by her. Coach Stanchill lobbying for a foul call there.
Yeah.
At least one on the floor. Very fortunate Fenwick is to have such a tall body like Bertucci in pressure situations like that, and McCarthy is going to get her first action in this fourth quarter for Mazzoni.
I think you got to. I really do. Still plenty of time, 6:52, but you're down 8 in a game that has been really low scoring. You got to get McCarthy back in the game.
Fenwick with an 8-point lead. Bernard using that, and she'll be called for the push, and that's something they haven't been calling the majority of this game, but they've been noticing.
Yeah.
A lot of these girls pushing off, using that opposite arm to hook the defender. McCarthy guarding Gonzalez. And we're going to get a moving pick, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
On Bertucci.
Calling everything right now.
They let a lot go in the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, they really did.
They let a lot go. None on, and we're going to get another foul. That one's going to be on Romero. So these referees taking control of this game, noticing how chippy it is, I'm guessing, and calling every little thing they see.
Could help the offenses.
Bet you Sophia Hemsey feels good about her fouls. Made sure she got her money's worth.
I know, right?
Anderson for 3, off the mark.
Grabs her own rebound, it looks like.
No, she can't, and it's going to stay with Beverly, though, with travel.
Nice.
Beverly still down 8, 6:24 left in this first quarter. Olivier, McCarthy, Haley off a screen, the 3.
Haley. Rattles around, wouldn't go in.
Gonzalez with the left hand. Olivier trying to take a charge. She'll get back up. Back up in defense on Kachian. Bertucci in the corner, guarded by Bernard. 10 seconds on the shot clock. McCarthy has on-ball defense, and that's going to go to Beverly. Not sure who touched that, but Bertucci seemed like she was going to let that one go. She was content.
Is Kachian's 3 the only bucket, by the way, in this fourth quarter?
Correct.
With that first quarter all over again. Like I said, it might only be 8 points, but the way that scoring has been hard to come by in this game, it's actually a little bit more. Haley, oh my goodness.
Forcing that one, a little floater from the baseline, but trying to get her team back in this, down 8, scoreless so far in the 2.5 minutes of this fourth. And travel on Romero.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you, Crusaders have had a lot of just really non-forced issues on offense in this fourth quarter. A lot of travels, a lot of balls just thrown away.
Taché in for Orfanos. McCarthy, Anderson, guarded by Taché. See if she decides to pull up, maybe using a pick from Bernard. We'll get the switch, force her in the corner, and we'll get a foul on Gonzalez.
Well, that's a bailout job right there, because Haley was going nowhere. Sophia Hemsey is back in right now. She got 2 girls for the Panthers who could foul out at any moment.
And sent away by Bertucci. Stay with Beverly, though. Just over 5 left in this fourth. Haley inbounding. They'll look for an easy 2 to Hemsey. Sent away by Bertucci again. 2 blocks and 2 possessions in Bernard. Almost getting called for a foul there.
I know.
Let her hands get away from her. Taché driving, sent away by Bernard. We're going to get a jump. Referee's signaling.
It's Panthers ball.
Should be.
It should be Panther ball.
And it will be. Only 3 points, like you said, scored. That was on, I believe, Fenwick's first possession. That was Kachian. McCarthy picks up her dribble, finds Anderson. Drive left
Haley.
quickly, a floater.
Oh, nothing's falling right now for Haley now.
And Orfanos will re-enter for Romero. Kachian. Driving left, open lane, got it.
Kachian has been the real difference maker now late in this game.
Leads all scorers with 16, and Bernard's going to throw that one away. Orfanos comes up with it. Bernard will be called for the foul on Gonzalez.
And remember, Crusaders are in the bonus. So that'll send her to the line. And now this game really in danger, kind of getting out of hand a little bit for the Panthers. Already down 10, and Stanchel will use a timeout. But
we were talking about it during halftime. The pace was very slow in the first half. Third quarter it picked up.
It did.
And it has gone to a standstill. 3 points in the first half of the fourth quarter. A lot of fouls, a lot of chippiness. And Beverly, like you said, has 2 players in there, and Hemsey and McCarthy, whose night could be done with
at
one
any
whistle.
moment.
Yeah,
at any moment at all, and that's a huge issue for the Panthers when those 2 get off the floor. They just don't go as deep on the bench, and it really hurts them offensively, especially. But, you know, it really just seems like Beverly has not really been able to regain their footing after that last about 2 minutes of gameplay in the third quarter, where everything just really went awry for a whole bunch of different reasons, just fouls, a couple of done turnovers, and then some fouls that they just didn't agree with, some things that just did not go their way at all. And it's just been really hard for Beverly to get their feet back underneath them. And it's funny how fast things swung, because you really felt like it was swinging back in Beverly's favor. They had retaken the lead a couple of times. But the wheels really just fell off there at the end of that third quarter. And there really has just been a lid on that bucket now in the fourth for Beverly. And now with 4 minutes to go, the Crusaders are in the bonus.
Gonzalez, after making that, makes it an 11-point lead.
And now this lead ballooning up to double digits.
Knocks them both down. She has 10. Second Crusader in double figures. Kachian's the other. A 12-point lead for Fenwick. With the second half of the fourth quarter yet to be played. Kachian forces a turnover. No foul, but she gets it to go. Kachian continues to impress.
Now, I'll tell you, everything's falling right now for Kachian.
She's got 18.
And now 43-29. Haley thought about it.
She's going to drive. Easy 2 for her.
And it's been tough sledding for her to get the ball in the bucket here in this fourth. She's really had to work hard, maybe even has forced a few things.
Probably took a toll on her with how much time McCarthy was on the bench. She had to bring the ball up as well.
Yeah, that was one of the things that we talked about, we were worried about. And, you know, you could afford it against Revere, but you can't do it against Bishop. Bishop's too good. Oh, my goodness.
Well, Fanos got that one to go off glass. She's got 6.
And you talk about everything going wrong. You know things are going wrong when that happens.
Oh, yeah.
That's not even a great shot.
Anderson for 3. Got it to go.
Haley trying everything she can to keep the Panthers in this game. A long 3.
Leads at 12. She has 19 of the Beverly 34.
And I think how many points did she have at halftime? 10?
Right around there. Gonzalez for 3 off the mark. Bertucci can't come away with it. On the floor, I believe that's going to stay with Fenwick.
Actually, I think she had 8 at half.
She did have 8 at half, yes. Outside of Anderson, it's only been a few other players to score. Bernard with 7, Sydney with 5, and McCarthy only with 2. Bertucci gets on the board again. She's got 4. Lead back to 14. Hemsey inside. Bertucci going to be called for the foul. Hemsey.
Good on her first attempt.
Her first points of the game.
Wow. Morgan Kochian's only a freshman according to the book.
Oh, yeah. Bertucci. And Hemsey comes away with that board. 13-point deficit for the Panthers. They won't go down without a fight.
No. Kylie flying down the floor and a foul.
And she'll be called for a travel.
Travel, never mind.
And, yep.
Yeah.
Beverly still with pressure. They have 19 fouls, one more. Fenwick will be shooting 2, and that's what it is. McCarthy with her 5th from behind.
She can't believe it.
And that didn't look like a foul.
No, I didn't think it was either. Oh, man. I feel like they're just, I mean, you talked about it was chippy for a while. I feel like they're really looking for stuff.
Yeah, but I feel like they went through that period of calling all the ticky-tacks, getting the girls to just focus on the game there, and then that's not a foul that should have been called right there.
No, probably not.
And Mazzoni back in.
That's unfortunate. Kylie really the recipient, by the way, of her 2 fouls, if you remember, in the second half have both been ones that we've questioned. The first one we think was on Tia, and they just got the number wrong.
I think the whole gym thinks that was on Tia.
Yeah, everybody in the gym pretty much yelled you got the wrong number. But and then that one, you know, just kind of seemed a little ticky-tack. Boy, I tell you, the Crusaders are making their opportunities at the line really count. And that's the way to close out games.
Fanos knocks down the first. She's got 7.
She's only a sophomore, too, by the way.
Knocks them both down.
Yeah, there's actually only one senior on this Crusaders team, so they have a lot to look forward to next year.
Leading scorer of this game, Kachin, as we said, she has 18. She's a freshman.
Yep.
Taché and Gonzalez, both juniors. Bertucci, she's a junior as well. And Romero, we've seen in spurts, she's a freshman.
Yeah. So they're going to bring just about everyone back except Michaela Rossi. So this Bishop team only going to keep getting better.
They've had good teams ever since I can remember, this girls program especially. So a 15-point lead so far right now, for Fenwick. Just under 2 minutes left in this 4th quarter. Looks like Beverly is going to fall.
Yeah, they'll fall to 11-9 on the season. And they could fall, as you said, in the playoff seeding as well. Although, you know, he told us Belmont lost in the day. I don't know if he has that record updated then.
That is reflected.
Okay, it is reflected?
Yep.
Okay. So Belmont is 11-9 with the loss that they suffered today. So Beverly will fall to 11-9 as well.
Yeah, with the loss today, they could potentially fall between 13th and 15th, and that would be if Reading gets in. Reading needing another win to qualify. And Fenwick forcing a turnover on the inbound.
Yeah, things just going from bad to worse.
And Anderson will be called for the foul there. Fenwick will shoot 2. And it's Taché at the line.
And by the way, you know, we talked about them having a difficult time coming back after what happened in the 3rd quarter. The other thing to think about is I think depth kind of took over this game in the 4th quarter, where Bishop has just had a lot more depth. They've been able to substitute more people in. Beverly really plays with 4 or 5. I mean, plays with 5 or 6.
And
you know, Haley will play a whole game. Sydney will play a whole game. Tia will play a whole game.
Yep.
And then Hemsey and McCarthy had to come out.
And you see senior Viana Kachin getting into the game, getting to play in the same court as her sister. That's pretty cool. Freshman, senior. And look at that. Sisters guarding each other. Anderson in the lane, can't get it to go. Rebound, Gonzalez. It's got to be cool for the parents.
Yeah, I know.
Getting to see their kids play against each other, guard against each other. One getting a scholarship, one dropping almost 20. Good day in the Kachin household. Yeah. Gonzalez baseline.
Yeah, the Larry McIntire Tournament has definitely made the Kachin family pretty happy.
Oh, yeah.
And also, when it came down to it, they were going to bring the McIntire trophy home one way or the other.
That's true. That's what you call hedging your bets. Smart family, if you ask me. As a gambler, I can tell you if you hedge, it's pretty good. Pretty good odds. Orfanos knocks that down. She's got 9, one away from double figures. And Gonzalez will take a break. Played well with 10 points on the day. Under a minute left. Orfanos knocks that down as well. 17-point lead. Anderson driving right, trying to force something. We'll get a jump ball. Bernard pushing her way forward, no foul call. I'm pretty sure the refs just want to swallow that whistle.
Yeah, now they want to swallow it.
Three from the freshman, got it to go.
Another freshman, jeez.
Erica Lendell getting some action. Drops a three.
Yeah. Crusaders just kind of pouring it on now.
Anderson, mid-range jumper. Can't get the roll. Believe last touch by Hemsey, and actually it's going to go out on Fenwick. Hemsey only with 1 point in the scorebook so far, but pretty sure she's leading the entire league just today with bodies on the ground.
Well, you know, she doesn't have the size, so she's got to play a different way down there.
I love it. I can't even express how you need a player like that on your team.
She's
like a Dennis Rodman. Just go around. She's the enforcer.
Yeah, she has to be their post player.
I love it.
And she's not tall enough.
By far, my favorite player to watch in this entire program, boys or girls, maybe of all time. The amount of bodies she's made hit the floor in this game alone. Just give her a ring.
Just give her
a championship ring. Give her the title. Doesn't matter. So that one got a little out of hand towards the end.
Did.
Final score, Fenwick 55, Beverly 35, Alex Luco, Dom Lorenzano.
Yep.
We saw Healy Anderson light it up. In some points, she had 19, but didn't really get as much help as we hoped she would. Bernard only with 7, her sister only with 5, McCarthy with 2. In the fouls that were given to McCarthy, her last 2 questionable officiating. I don't like to call out officials, but
that was rough.
I mean, that
was real rough, and the officiating, you know, you don't want to say, you know, cost somebody a game because you can't. You can't let it unravel to the point you lose by 20. But it did really, really change the momentum of this game. That end of the third quarter, Beverly was in position. They had retaken the lead a few times. They were playing way better on offense.
Yep.
And then things just got totally derailed there that last 2 minutes.
A 1 point lead for Beverly turned into an 8-point deficit.
8-point deficit. And emotionally, it just kind of looked like they never fully recovered and got their feet back underneath them. And the fourth quarter was just an absolute disaster. But, you know, one of the big things about it was, again, we talked about foul issues, Kylie and Sophia having to sit for long ranges of time.
Yep.
We talked about the pressure that put on Haley. And to me, I think Haley actually looked a little bit tired in that fourth quarter because of all, you know, the attention that she got, and she had to bring up the ball all the time.
You see there the captains, Anderson, Bernard, and Kachin for the Panthers.
I don't know. I think they give out like a most valuable player for the tournament or something. I don't know if that's what Haley just got or... Oh, runner-up trophy. Okay. It's a runner-up trophy.
And Fenwick going to accept the championship plaque. Doesn't really look like a trophy. We'll call it a plaque.
Yeah, a plaque.
See the captains there. It's Gonzalez and Rossi. We're going to get an all-tournament team here.
That's what they give out.
And Maria Orfanos, a sophomore, is going to be selected to that team. Great first step, great defense as well from her today. By far the quickest player on the court.
Yeah. And the freshman,
Morgan Kachin,
Morgan Kachin, who, you know, we talked about things getting out of hand, and she was really the dealer of death today for the Panthers. Is she got real hot at the end of that third quarter, even added a 3 at the beginning of the fourth quarter that just quickly, at the snap of a finger, pushed that deficit out to something that became unmanageable for the Panthers.
Yeah, she finished with 18, and she had 9 points from the end of the third to the beginning of the fourth in a matter of 40 seconds.
Yeah.
And Haley Anderson's going to be added to that team. No surprise here. She had 24 yesterday, along with 19 today. Leading scorer of this tournament by far. Adding to her total is the all-time leading scorer.
Yeah.
Here at Beverly.
It was a historic day yesterday for Beverly, with Duncan getting his 1,000 and
absolutely.
Haley becoming the all-time leader of this program for girls basketball.
We got the balloons behind us. I might try to take some of those home.
Lisa won't be happy with you about that.
I'm sure she'll forgive me. So that'll do it here. Beverly, unfortunately, losing by 20, and that was so close towards the end. You'd love to see the fight out of these girls they had today, but they've got, I believe, one game left on their schedule. They do not. That was their last game.
No, that's their last
I'm thinking
game.
of the boys. I'm thinking of the boys. So that's their record at 12-8. We'll just see where the cards fall, see where their seeding is in the tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, right now, sitting at that seeding at the arc still could drop a little bit further. And, the main issue again today was, who's going to be the next scorer. Sydney had problems getting going in this game. And then another thing that it's been kind of a new issue that just popped up in this tournament, fouls really taking their toll on the Panthers. So those are two things they're really going to have to clean up going into the tournament.
For Dom Lorenzano, I'm Alex Saluco. Thank you for Robert, Tim, Mark, everybody behind on the cameras and everything. And we've got another game to do. I'll be right back here in about 20 minutes or so. It should be fun.
Night, everyone.